Honey. Honey, are you alright? Honey. Hey. I'm so glad you opened your eyes. I was getting nervous there for a while. Don't try and move too quick. If you do, you might hurt yourself further. Good. Looks like you're mostly okay. I didn't study those years of first aid in college for nothing. But, damn. To think our plane would crash down here. I still can't believe it. Where are we? Don't panic. Come here. I promised I'd be with you through anything. And while this is no doubt something crazy, I won't let it be something that ruins our mood. We're going to get away. I don't know how we got stranded here. The plane came down, it all happened so fast, but still, I'm sure it's going to work out. Somehow we're going to get off this island. And until then, let's consider it like a little vacation. It's certainly nothing we haven't dealt with in certain cases. Trust me. And just try and breathe. We're going to make it out of here alive. And we're going to do it with style. I studied some survival training. We've got a lot of food, water, and a way to make sure the nearest plane can definitely see us. So we're doing much better than those who are on the Outcast shows. We just need to figure out where we are. Let me see. If we look at this map, where we were going and where we came from, we can quickly find out we're somewhere along here. Now, judging by the time we were in the air for, I can only imagine that... Hey, I wonder where everybody else went. Well, they clearly wouldn't leave us behind. So, perhaps they're already up and about. Either way, even if it's just you and me, we'll make it through this, okay? Don't worry about a thing, Pumpkin. Think of it as a sort of adventure. See? If we think of it that way, it's kind of exciting, right? And look at this. All my size and strength isn't for nothing. I can definitely 100% get us through this. I can make that promise, because I'm pretty sure we're on a peninsula. Which means it's even more likely we'll get found out. This looks to be somewhere in Europe. Now we just need to find locals. Maybe that was where they went. Kind of a shame they didn't bring us with them. But it's all right. I understand I'm a bit heavy, and they must have known we were together. Maybe there's a note somewhere, and maybe that's a bit too much wishful thinking. We don't need a note, though, to know that there's probably a good source of water this way. And a few changes of clothes, and we'll basically be camping. It's a shame our cell phones didn't survive, but maybe it'll be a good little excursion. Maybe we can use this as a time to bond. I'm sorry if it's scary, but you can rely on me. There's nothing to worry about, Pumpkin. If there was, I would take care of it. You can depend on me. Maybe we've gone back to a simpler time. Wouldn't it be pretty funny? We've traveled through time, living in a different era. I mean, it was just a joke, but if it did happen, as long as I've got you, as long as I got you, I'd be more than happy. You make me feel safe even now. Now, up you go. I figured I'd carry you on my shoulder. You didn't actually think that you were too heavy for me, did you? I should hope not. I'm big and strong for a reason, and you're just the right size and shape. I just want you to know You never have to change in order for me to love you, because I love you just the way you are. I love you every single day, and this is no different. I'm sorry that our vacation ended up like this. I know it's not my fault or anything, but it's still frustrating. But we'll make the best of it. Maybe it'll be even more of a memorable experience. Trust me, I'll make sure it is, my pumpkin. I won't let anyone get to you, or anything. Why, of course I'm being honest. Listen, my pumpkin. There's a reason why I'm staying this positive. I have a sixth sense with things like this. I feel like, because I understand this situation and while I haven't been a part of one like this, I'm with the person I trust most in the world. I guess it's kind of like those statements, if you had to be alone on a deserted island with someone, who would you pick? And it would always be you for me. Don't blush now. You'll make me blush too. I was never quite the most courageous when it came to things like this, but you make me want to be bold. You make me want to transcend what I've done before. And you give me the courage to do so. And that's why I'll prove myself not only as a man, but as the man who wants to steal your heart. No matter how much I want to worry, no matter how much my heart is, well, shaking, it'll never break. No matter what this world holds. That's a promise. Look at you. You're already doing fine. I usually am such a scaredy cat. A big guy who doesn't have the big guy energy. But even then, you accepted me. Hey, no teasing. Not right now. Let me get a good look at you. When you're up on my shoulder, you're closer than ever. Energized by a single kiss. That's all I need. Here. This is special. Just between you and me. It's a special promise of sorts. That we're going to make it out of this. And even better, I'll promise that we'll make it out of this before you know it. I know these are trying times. And you might feel stranded sometimes. Then again, I'd be willing to bet you felt that back at home too. Because of the circumstances surrounding you. But even still, we've made it through that. And we can make it through this. There may be lingering problems, but look at me rambling. Let's get going. Right, I'm the one walking. Now, if you see anything from up there, make sure you tell me. I'll be sure to react. Give us a better chance at avoiding it or finding it. Whichever is more applicable at the time. It really depends. But I've been meaning to say this for a long time, but I figure it's the best time of all. I wanted to make sure. You're happy with me, right? Am I a good boyfriend? Sorry to ask that. I know it must have come across as random, but my insecurities have been quite rabid lately. It's been quite a difficult week, even if we don't include today, which is saying something. Don't you worry. There's going to be plenty of time once we get out of this. Now listen to me. When we eat and drink, we only use a little, for now. I know. I'll build us a shelter. and I'll protect you in my arms. You can rest inside of my coat. It's just the right size for two of us. I'm kind of glad we got 3 sizes too big. Or was it 4? I'm not sure. Either way, it seems just the right size, that we can zip it up and fit in. That with the sleeping bag, and we'll be hidden from the world. Nothing can hurt us if we hide in there, right? I admit that I would be scared, but something's telling me it's going to be all right. It's the feeling of you. That smile, even when it's weak, it gives me life in ways that I can't quite explain in words, but I'm happy. Very happy. Won't you allow me to protect you? I'll be your knight. Not that I wasn't before, but your knights learn some courage. And if we have to face something scary, I promise I won't let it hurt you. And I won't get hurt either. There's no point if I can't protect you and myself. If I were to do that, then you won't worry, right? Good. Then that's all I have to do. Listen to me. Everything is going to be fine. I wouldn't say something. I wouldn't say it, sweetheart, if I didn't believe it. I know sometimes places get scary, but it's so much less scary together. And if we stick together, not even the nighttime will be. Especially considering nothing could tell we were here, except for other people who will likely be looking for us. We were stranded, by the way, so I'd imagine our families and other people who care about us are looking for us. So don't worry. And for now, it's just the two of us. Like a very early honeymoon. Don't worry, I'm not getting ahead of myself. It's just I sometimes think about what it might be like when we're married. I know not much changes between this, but to have you as mine forever, that's my ultimate goal. And even if I might not be the bravest knight yet, I'm trying to be. I'm trying to learn and understand what it might take to be that. And I think this is a trial to see how well I can take care of you. Not that you need taking care of or something. It's more like you might want to be. You seem to enjoy when I hold you this close, and I think it might be time just to relax. Yes, don't worry about me. I'm doing just fine. There's pretty much nothing to worry about. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I probably shouldn't say that term, but I'm sure it won't happen. And even if I'm a little scared, I'm more scared of you being unsettled than I am of my own fears. I would rise above them 1,000,000 times if that's what it takes to make you feel safe and happy. Maybe this is a bit unconventional, but I was hoping when we sleep we could just... I've got it. It doesn't have to be for sleeping purposes, but since I don't see any signs of civilization too close except for on the horizon, that should at least put your mind at ease that we'll get there in time. I can practically see them. There's a city out there, but I don't think we can make it before nightfall. So for now, why don't we make a small camp? It's not too shabby. I'm actually quite proud of it. All this handiwork and survival things that I've read. It's coming in big right now, and that makes me happy. Are you doing okay? That smile of yours is worth more to me than anything, and I'm happy. Ironically, I thought I'd be scared or anxious, but when I hold you in my arms, it's like there's a connection, one that goes so deep that I just know I'm safe. And then if we snuggle like this, in this tent, snuggling together, there's even pillows. I'm just happy to be in this small world with you. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get more times like this. When we finally get saved or make our way to that civilization over there, we'll finally be able to appreciate time like this. Just listening to you breathe. I wouldn't trade this moment for the world, even if it's unfortunate. But we have to look at the good. Even if we got into a crash, it doesn't seem like anyone was hurt on board. We might have been thrown for a loop, but we made it here safe. We have that to thank, and we made it here together. It's not just one or the other. If I didn't have you, my sweetie pie, I'd never be able to have done this. Maybe you think that I'm stronger than I am, and I might be able to, sometimes. But I get lonely easy, and if I didn't have you, I wouldn't know what to do with myself, and yeah, the thoughts were kind of getting to me, and I realized I can't let that get the best of me. Otherwise, I'd end up in this rut of non-stop anxiety. To tell you the truth, I'm afraid of anxiety. I've had to deal with it for a long time, and now it likes to rear its ugly head at the worst times, but lately, it's been getting better. Thanks in part to a certain special someone who's sharing this coat with me. You're so cozy and warm, even if the outside is cold. My heart sure isn't. And that's perhaps what makes me not fear. What makes me less anxious is I'm distracted by how adorable you are, Pumpkin. I'm distracted by how many smiles you've given me, even in a situation that some people would despair. I've enjoyed it, legitimately. It hasn't even been to the point that I would consider it a bad day. And that's startling to me. In a good way, of course. I haven't been too overbearing, have I? I just wanted to make sure that no matter what happens, you have a chance at smiling. It's like I said before. Don't live a day that you can't have a smile in. And if you can't, do something that makes you smile. And I don't know if I said that in my dream or in reality. It's embarrassing. I can't help it. It doesn't matter. I stand by those words. And even if I didn't, even if I couldn't, I know we'd be okay somehow. You give me that hope. You make me feel where I wouldn't before, where I couldn't before. Do you realize how much you've changed my life, Pumpkin? I don't think you do. Maybe it's because you don't give yourself credit. And I understand that. I'm not used to accepting praise, and yet you practically lavish me with it to the point where it gets me all flustered and... There you go again. I'm not sure what to say. Yeah. I realize that. Sometimes I may never know the right words. But perhaps that just means that the right words don't exist. Therefore, I just gotta try my best, right? That's what I try and do. If that makes sense. I sometimes get lost in your eyes. I get lost in that expression you make. Just like that. It gives me so much hope. So damn much feelings. And then I just feel like I'm the happiest guy in the world and the most nervous too, and then you say something like that and you sure do know how to fluster me, don't you? And that's not just to say in one way or the other. You know, it's actually kind of romantic. Being the only two people on this beautiful shore. And not having to worry about anyone else. It's just us. I can drown in those beautiful eyes. I can put my arms around you. And even if I'm shaky, it's not from the cold. It's from, well, I think you know. You know exactly how much you've made me nervous, but even if you do, I don't want it to stop. Sweetie pie, you've made me feel so many things. And I wish my wording was better, so that I can make you understand it in a way that would be more conducive to conversation, but I guess sometimes actions do speak louder, but other times I want my words to just as badly. You slink away sometimes too. Don't think you're too sly that I didn't notice. You get flustered pretty easy too, and with our warmth together in this embrace and this sleeping bag, it provides some unique situations, and well, I didn't mean for you to tease me or anything. Jeez, you're pretty ruthless when you get into it. Not that I'm saying you're always ruthless or anything, but right now, you've got those eyes. Those damn eyes that make my brain go numb. That make my dreams seem like they're real. That damn voice I always want to hear more of. That beautiful touch that's as soft as silk and as gorgeous as... well, there isn't something I could compare, because you're that breathtaking. What am I saying? Of course I mean those words, but they're so embarrassing to say out loud. No, you're right. There's no sense in holding back. Are you sure you can handle that? Even if it's something I don't know quite how to express? You sure do know how to make me feel like everything's just fine. Look at you. It's really no wonder to me how we ended up this close. How things ended up being even better because of this. Hey, baby. Could I make a selfish request to you? I promise it won't be that bad. Will you let me be the man of your dreams? Wait, that makes it sound like I'm proposing to you. I'm not proposing to you. What I'm trying to say is, while this may be a clumsy attempt at conveying my feelings, my ideas, my passion, would you be willing to be mine? Will you let me become something more than a boyfriend? I just wanted to be something like cooler than that. When I think about it, it just makes me feel like if I'm more to you, then we're making progress. Then I don't need to worry about regression or things that don't work in our favor. I'd like for you to be mine. Thank you. Wait, not thank you. I'm just not sure how I'm supposed to word something like this. And so I stumble forward, hoping for the best. I know before you say it that this is no place for a proper confession of this. But I just kept thinking, live every day to its utmost. And, well, sweetie pie, I couldn't find any other way. When I think about it, the only choice was forward. It's kind of like pushing through a defense on the volleyball court. Back when I played, way back when. God, sometimes it feels like a dream. I don't know if it's a good or a bad one. How vivid I can remember those years. And yet, how special the one sense have been. I found the most important person in my life that everyone always said I should find. All of my friends were proud when I met you, you know. They knew I'd found the one that might be able to help me be courageous. The one that saw me for my merits instead of my faults. And you've lived up to that in so many ways. You've exceeded every expectation I could possibly have. And still, you found things that made life beautiful. Still, I see myself as having a lot to work on. But I'm proud to be working on things right alongside you. It's not one of us pointing out the other's faults. It's both of us working together on our own. It's like we're the support group that the other one always needed. It's like we're the two great big hugs that needed to happen, that are always there, warm just like this embrace. And, well, I, for one, wouldn't trade meeting you the way I did for anything. I wouldn't trade it even if it could have been smoother and not me getting so flustered. But maybe you saw merit and fell in love with me because of that. You always say how cute it is that I get flustered, and I'm glad you find it to be cute. I find so many things you do to be cute, so many things that you don't even notice that you do. And it's easy to find things to love about you. Let me tell you, there's more than enough to love. I always wish there was more, because you deserve more, but still, I adore you, honey. And even if we're in the middle of nowhere, so be it. It won't stop me from appreciating you, from telling you my true feelings, even if they're so embarrassing they make me want to... nothing. I have to laugh at it, though, because I'm a walking paradox. I'm trying to be brave to protect the person I love, all the while maybe doing the opposite. Not to say that I'm not brave. I can be brave sometimes, and especially for you. And when it counts, I want to be positive and courageous to the point where you don't feel any anxiety, and that even if the situation turns dire, we can have a way out. A way that we're both safe, even if we're living in our own world. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but I was hoping you'd be the biggest part of my world. Even if it means making sacrifices. I don't mind making any, if it would make you happy. No, you're right. Life isn't about what you sacrifice. It's about what you enjoy with someone you love. And that's all I want to do with you. I want more of you. Much more of you. And I'm not exactly sure how to say this, but I don't think I want any distance. And since we only have one sleeping bag to share, I'm going to say we're going to have a lot of time to bond. What? I just got a little nervous. It's because I don't want to overstep my bounds and say something absurd or bad. Instead, I want it to be special, and I might just be rambling just a little bit. You're probably right. I couldn't shut up even if I wanted to. Especially with you in my arms. If I did, I wouldn't be me. I'd just be some shameful version of myself that I don't want to know or ever meet. But you'll never meet him because you won't leave me, right? No guilt tripping or something. That's more to say, if you want to stay with me, I, of course, want you to, but I'd never force you. Don't be scared. I promise. Though it is a bit quiet. I kind of like that. More for me to listen to you. That heartbeat of yours. The beautiful breaths you take. I'm just so thankful to have you in my life. To have you in my arms, too. There's nothing better than this. Nothing. Except maybe this. Be mine. Of course I wasn't asking. I was hoping that every kiss hit more than the last. That somehow I'd be able to keep you as mine forever. But now I know it's the truth. Now, I definitely can't stop. Because I love you. Because I know. Deep down, there's no separating. Not now, or ever. We're one heart. And I'm so thankful for that. I couldn't imagine a life without you. I always want more and never less. Please, let my greedy heart just this once have my wish of more of you. That's all I could ever wish. All I could ever want. You're literally everything to me. Baby, you're my pumpkin. My sweetie pie. My everything. Won't you let me spoil you even more? I can stop. And neither can you, by the looks of it. Until we're both melting into each other. That's just how it ends up being. I see. I love you, Pumpkin. Oh, sorry. Am I moving around too much? I didn't want to, but being so close to you, I just want to make sure you're comfortable and that you stay warm. Keep those toes warm. You have to make sure to. Otherwise, you might catch a cold, and that's the last thing we need. I'll protect you. Not only as someone who will hopefully be your future husband, but as a wild and fearsome man who will protect you from the wilds out here. I know I'm different from what you probably remember. I'm still a scaredy cat sometimes, but you still accept me for that. And that means more than you could ever know. I'm so proud to be who I am, and I'm proud to have you in my arms. It means a lot, you know. There's probably so many people jealous of me right now. And I'll be honest, sometimes it seems surreal. Like I ask myself, how did I get into this situation with literally the person I always dreamed of? It's kind of surreal, and I get the imposter syndrome sometimes. But even then, I can't help but think everything happens for a reason. If it didn't, then, well, what would I do? How would I manage if there's no you? It seems like the right thing to say is there's no me either. Yet at the same time, I'm not sure how else to say it. I couldn't imagine a day passing that I don't feel your warmth in my arms, that I don't get to hear the song of your voice. Literally nothing matters more to me than you. And I hope it shows. That's all I can hope for. That I've done a good job as a boyfriend, and hopefully an even better job as a fiancé once we, get started with that. Look, I'm not the best when it comes to this, but I'll learn. I promise. Every day is an opportunity for me to do things better. Every day is a day I can learn something that makes you smile. Every day is something that can be a beautiful one. And I want to contribute to a positive and healthy relationship, just like I want to contribute to that smile that I love so much. And if I'm going to do that, I know full well I have a lot to learn, a lot to work on, and probably a lot more to understand. Boundaries to reach and things to find out. I love you. God, I'm probably not making sense at this point, but I guess the feelings all came out at once. Holding you this close made my heart race, and it made me smile. It made me smile more than anything. More than I ever knew I could. So much that my smiling muscles are a little hurt. You're making me smile more, you darn torturer. Part of me hopes we never go home, so I don't have to share you with anyone. I know, just selfish desires, but what can I say, baby? I just want you to feel happy, and part of me wants you all to myself. Do you think I'm a bad man for that? I wouldn't want to overstep any boundaries. It's just, I really do love this moment. And I want so many more of them. And I know, somehow, some way, it's gonna happen. It's bound to. Right? Yeah. Best not to think about it too much.